Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. We've been playing each other since high school. So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like,
hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a major moment in women's basketball. WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has issued an apology following some controversial remarks that sparked heated conversations across the sports world. At the center of it all, the rivalry between two rising stars in the game, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. In the ever-evolving world of sports, rivalries between athletes often become focal points for fans and media alike. However, when those rivalries are framed in ways that spark controversy, they can lead to unintended consequences. Such was the case when WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert found herself embroiled in a controversy over her remarks regarding the widely publicized rivalry between basketball stars Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. In response to growing backlash, Engelbert issued a formal apology to the players on September 14th, 2024, for her comments, which many believed exacerbated the tension between the two athletes. The rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese became a major storyline during the 2023 NCAA women's basketball tournament. Both players are standout athletes in their own right. Clark, a sharpshooter from the University of Iowa, and Reese, a forward from LSU, brought immense skill and passion to the tournament. In the championship game between Iowa and LSU, the rivalry came to a head with LSU winning the title. What turned heads was not only the game itself, but a particular moment near the end, when Angel Reese mimicked Caitlin Clark's signature, "You can't see me" gesture. Clark had previously used the gesture earlier in the tournament, and Reese's response during LSU's victory ignited a firestorm of reactions across social media and beyond. Fans, commentators, and even celebrities weighed in, with some defending Reese's actions as competitive sportsmanship and others criticizing it as unsportsmanlike. The ensuing debate touched on several sensitive issues, including race and gender, as many pointed out that Black female athletes like Reese often face harsher scrutiny for behavior that is otherwise celebrated when done by male athletes or white athletes. As the media continued to analyze and amplify the Clark-Reese rivalry, WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert was asked about the situation during a public appearance. Engelbert, known for her leadership in promoting women's basketball and expanding the visibility of the WNBA, weighed in on the discussion. However, her comments, meant to highlight the competitiveness between the two rising stars, were seen as problematic by some. Engelbert was perceived as downplaying the complexity of the rivalry and failing to acknowledge the racial and cultural dynamics at play. Her remarks were interpreted by critics as contributing to a media narrative that pits two young female athletes against each other, rather than celebrating their individual achievements. Many within the basketball community felt that Engelbert's words could have been more mindful of the broader conversation around how female athletes, particularly women of color, are scrutinized and portrayed in the media. This led to growing dissatisfaction among fans and players alike, calling for a more balanced perspective from sports leadership. On September 14th, 2024, following the backlash, Cathy Engelbert issued a public apology to both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, as well as the broader basketball community. In her statement, Engelbert acknowledged that her previous remarks had inadvertently fueled a divisive narrative and failed to appropriately recognize the challenges that female athletes face, especially women of color. "I deeply regret my comments regarding the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese rivalry," Engelbert said in her apology. "Both of these young women have done tremendous things for the sport, and my words did not reflect the admiration and respect I have for them. I realize now that my statements contributed to a conversation that detracted from their accomplishments and unfairly highlighted a rivalry that was sensationalized in ways that were harmful. I've spoken to both Caitlin and Angel to express my sincere apologies." Engelbert also used her statement as an opportunity to emphasize the importance of framing sports rivalries in a way that uplifts all athletes and acknowledges the broader context in which they compete. The reaction to Engelbert's apology has been mixed. Some fans and players expressed their appreciation for her willingness to take responsibility for her comments and to recognize the complex dynamics of the situation. Many believe that her apology represents an important step in fostering a more supportive and inclusive environment for female athletes. However, some critics feel that Engelbert's initial remarks should have been more thoughtful in the first place. Given the sensitive nature of the conversation surrounding the rivalry, others have argued that while the apology is a positive step, more needs to be done to address the underlying issues of how female athletes, particularly Black women, are treated in sports media and public discourse. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have not issued detailed public statements in response to Engelbert's apology. However, sources close to the players suggest that both athletes appreciated the commissioner's outreach and are focused on their respective careers, aiming to move past the controversy and continue to excel on the court. The Clark-Reese rivalry and the controversy surrounding Engelbert's comments highlights larger systemic issues in how women's sports are covered and how female athletes are treated in the public eye. Female athletes, especially women of color, are often held to different standards than their male counterparts. When men display confidence or aggression on the court, it is often celebrated while women may be criticized for similar behavior. This incident serves as a reminder of the importance of careful, thoughtful leadership in sports, particularly when addressing rivalries that involve athletes from different racial and cultural backgrounds. As women's basketball continues to grow in popularity, ensuring that the narratives surrounding players are framed positively and inclusively is crucial. Engelbert's apology, while significant, is just one step toward a larger conversation about how to better support female athletes and avoid sensationalizing rivalries in ways that can be harmful. The ONBA, under Engelbert's leadership, has made significant strides in promoting women's sports, but incidents like this highlight the need for continued efforts to ensure that all players are respected for their skills, not sensationalized for their personal rivalries. As the ONBA and NCAA women's basketball continue to rise in prominence, the focus must remain on celebrating the athletes' achievements on the court and creating a culture of respect and empowerment for all women in sports. Cathy Engelbert's apology to Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and the basketball community is an important reminder of the power that words and narratives hold in the sports world. As the commissioner of one of the most visible women's sports leagues, Engelbert has acknowledged her role in fueling the divisive conversation and has taken responsibility for reframing the narrative in a more positive light. The incident also underscores the need for thoughtful leadership and media coverage that uplifts athletes rather than pitting them against each other in ways that detract from their incredible accomplishments.